but they just don't know.
What I told you, Cutter.
People seen it, but they just don't know. People seen it, but they just don't know.
Huh?
People,
Let's go.
people seen it, but they just don't know. People seen it, but they.
What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy, and we here on 910 Sports once again. First and foremost, God for this opportunity to be able to come on this great platform with a great bunch of guys. As y'all can see, I got a whole panel. So, you know what I'm saying? I got my man Jacob the Great in the building. You know what I'm saying? I got my man Eric and Chris from CEV Sports. I know y'all changed the name. What's it called? What's the new show called?
Go ahead, Chris.
No, we're not. We're still CEV. It's just we're the Philly podcast.
Okay, now I thought I see something else on the group text thing. Thought y'all was called. I guess y'all called that something else.
Yeah, we're with Old City Sports right now. I'm sorry.
Y'all
You're
what?
right. Old City Sports Network.
Yeah. Okay. Is that something like to combine everything together? Or what's that all about?
Go ahead, Eric. You explain.
Yeah, well, the guy that runs the network, Jesse, he'd been following us for a while, and he was like real interested in getting us on his network. He's like, I like your name. It's a hot name, the Philly podcast. He's like, the logo's awesome. He's like, and from what I can see, you guys get a lot of views. He said, on your shows and everything. He said you guys pump out a lot of content, and he just wanted us to get involved with them. So we sat down and we met up with him for a little bit, and we decided to make the jump, to go with them, and yeah, it's been working out great. I mean, I want to say we get some of the highest rated views on their network. So he's just been incredibly happy with like what we've brought to the table so far. And we're happy with what they do. They're mostly Jesse's a big Philadelphia Flyers fan. He loves hockey, so he puts his a lot of his stuff out. So yeah, but he's been doing it for about 4 years now. Like we've actually been around longer than Old City Sports Network, and we are. We're kind of killing it, man. We got over 35,000 followers now on our Facebook page.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So yeah, we're doing good.
Well, I'm happy for y'all, man, because y'all gave me my first chance when I started what we was doing over here. Y'all was the first ones to give me my opportunity, so I'm more than happy. Glad. I'm really super happy for y'all. Saying or whatever.
Thank you, man.
Y'all put it.
Yeah, congrats. Hey, so Icon, before we get started, I want to ask Chris a question, and hopefully he's gonna say yeah. Now, Chris, I follow your page, and I follow the incredible things that you do with your son, right? And I'm a big baseball guy, so when it comes to that, man, I want to know, man, if we maybe one day can get your son on 901 Sports.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Just got to make sure I wake his ass up.
Okay. That's cool. All right, I can go ahead.
All right, man. So basically, we're gonna get into it, man. We're gonna get into these football games. You know what I mean? We gonna kind of tease them a little bit. We ain't gonna jump into the Eagles and Washington game first. We gonna talk Buffalo and Kansas City and give everybody thoughts on how they feel about that first. I'm gonna let my guest start off first. So I'm gonna let him start off first how he feel about the game, the matchup, and the whole feelings on it.
Oh, the matchup it's an interesting matchup. Yeah, it's a real interesting matchup, and I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to see Jaden Daniels and Jalen Hurts battle it out. That's one I'm really looking forward to. Like the Jaden Daniels story for this season is amazing.
Oh, we don't go there yet. We gonna go. We talking about Buffalo and we talking about Allen. And
Man, I'm so sorry. You broke up on me. I thought you were talking about that. Okay. All right. Rewind. So here's what we do: Buffalo and KC. That's going to be a game for the ages. I really do. I think it's going to be great. Um, I am really, really expecting Buffalo to finally do it and make their way to the Super Bowl. Um, I'm not against Kansas City. You know, I don't hate them or nothing like that. I don't hate Buffalo. I'm expecting just an all-out great game. Like this is going to be an awesome game. Um, I do see Buffalo winning, but I think Mahomes is going to make it, or the refs will probably make it a close game. um, you know, but no, I mean, but Mahomes will. The kid's a pro. He's a great football player. He doesn't have a lot with the wide receivers. He really doesn't. The only thing he really has, and I'm not trying to take anything away from Worthy and DeAndre Hopkins, but we had talked about this before on our show. And neither one of them have played in this type of a situation before. And DeAndre Hopkins has been around a long time, and he's older now. He's got experience, but he's never been on this stage. And I think since getting to Kansas City, he's only had like one game over 100 yards. Most of the time, he's between the 65, 80-yard range. Worthy's the speedster. He can get over the top on the defense. But that Buffalo defense, I like it. I think it's a good matchup. So I'm looking forward to this game a lot, man. I really am.
okay, Chris, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Eric stole my thunder as always. That's why I always talk over him. But no. Listen, the key to tomorrow's game for Buffalo and the Chiefs is if you're Buffalo, you have to take away Travis Kelce. Like if DeAndre Hopkins and Xavier Worthy beat you, that's one thing. But like Eric said, and I alluded to I was a guest on an earlier podcast this week, and I was like, DeAndre Hopkins and Xavier Worthy have never been in this situation. They don't like. I know they understand the stakes, but sometimes people choke up. It just happens. And it sucks. But you can't let Travis Kelce beat you. Travis Kelce was wide open 3 times last week on like 3rd and 5s, 2nd and 7s. I don't understand how you let 87 roam the field and not one person touches this guy. It's 3rd and 5, and he's 3 yards downfield, and I don't understand why no one's near him. Like double him. If you have to take the chance and let your corners. Like if Rasul Douglas is pretty fast, so he can probably cover DeAndre Hopkins one-on-one. I don't know who the other corner is on the other side of the Bills is, but if you have a safety playing up top and you have the other guy, whoever the corner is playing him, that's how you do. You can't let Travis Kelce beat you. You can't. You can't let Travis Kelce beat you.
Okay. What's your
my thoughts is with the receivers, I think they are similar matched, but what I really think, man, is the Bills ain't seen a defense like Kansas City defense. That we talk about Mahomes and we talk about Kelce, man, but from what I watch, man, that defense really get after you. And they do it in crunch times. It can be late in the game where the game is close and the Chiefs might be down by 3. We've seen it this year that the Chiefs came out and won. It wasn't because of Mahomes. It was because of the defense put the offense in a great position. So I really think if Kansas City defense shows up like we know it can show up, it might be a long day for Buffalo.
I disagree with you. I think Buffalo's offense is really, really good. They've already beat them by 9 points this year. You go back and you look at all of their wins this year. Majority of them are by less than 3 points. Or they didn't really have any big blowouts. They won. They found ways to win, and teams with that championship pedigree find ways to win. But when you match up with a player like Josh Allen, and I'm tired of the narrative. Josh Allen doesn't have anybody. He's got a great tight end. He's got a great receiver in Shakir, and he's got a great running back in Cook, and whoever the other running back is. I'm tired of that narrative. Josh Allen has a supporting cast around him. Every team in the playoffs, right? Every team in the Final Four has a supporting cast. It isn't one player carrying the team, with the exception of maybe Saquon Barkley. But there's no the narrative that Josh Allen doesn't have anybody. It's getting really old.
Well, let me say this about Kansas City. So if y'all really know the history of Kansas City in the playoffs, almost every year, especially when they get to the AFC Championship game and the Super Bowl, it's always an unsung hero. It's never the players we think it's going to be. Last year it was, I think it was Hardman. They had, I think it was one of the games, the AFC Championship. I think Juju Smith-Schuster had a timely catch. So they've always had somebody else to make a play in a crucial moment. So this may be that moment for DeAndre Hopkins. This may be that moment for Xavier Worthy or one of those other players besides Travis Kelce. And the thing about Andy Reid, he does a good job of implementing that right play at the right time type of moment. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I do feel like it doesn't necessarily, I don't really think Travis Kelce is necessarily the X factor per se. I think it's going to be the collective of the other players. Marquise Brown, he came back and he had enough time to kind of implement himself and get a little bit going with Patrick Mahomes. So I think it's going to be one of those other players that's going to make a play that's going to decide this game more so than, and I'm not saying Travis Kelce won't make a play, but he may not make the play, you know what I'm saying, depending on if those other I feel like it's going to be one of those other players that's going to make a play at the end of the day. Because the thing about it is they're going to be so focused on Travis Kelce that they're going to end up leaving one of those other players open for a big play. That's the way I feel like, because Buffalo knows them probably, even though they only play once a year or whatever, they know them probably just as much as their divisional opponents know them and what they want to do. So I think one of those other players are going to make a play. And if they get that running game going with Kareem and Pacheco, it might be a long day for Buffalo. That's the way I feel about it. So, so we ain't gonna do predictions to the end. We'll wait to the end to do predictions. We're gonna take a quick 1 second break. Literally, nobody go nowhere. We're gonna take a quick 1 second. Gonna be right back here on 91.910 Sports. Okay, we back here on 910 Sports. Like I told you, we're taking a quick 1 second break. So we back. We're gonna jump over to the other side. So we're gonna do predictions at the end. We're gonna jump over to the other side with Philly and Washington. I'm gonna let you take it first. What you feel about the game, your thoughts on the game.
I just think that Saquon Barkley has been so many people kryptonite, man. I just think that he's Superman. He got a cape on his chest, and if you don't get a hold to him, man, and at least slow him down, like, okay, I can see him getting 105, 110, in this game. But if that man break over 140 yards in counting, it's gonna be a long day, bro. It's gonna be a long day. And then for me, what I think would make the game very more interesting if I can see AJ and Smith get off and get that. I don't feel like they have been involved in quite a while now. And I feel like that's what a lot of fans want to see. Even the fans that are not Philly fans, I hear them talk about, those elite receivers that Philly have, that they want to see make some acrobatic catches, want to make some catches that, that's going to get them across that first down marker like we used to see. And so I don't know if Jaden's arm is okay, or is he if his injuries is okay, man. But I would like him to see him throw the ball less let's see what the secondary from Washington can do in the crunch time. You know what I mean? Because this is clutch, and Washington got a pretty young ball club. So, but I think overall, man, it's going to be a very interesting game, and you know, Philly defense, that front line is man, they just something serious, man. Like that front line that Philly got, man. They coming. They coming. So but on the other side of the ball, you know, it just seems that Jaden knows where Scary Terry is at all times, and Scary Terry makes some plays that we ain't seen him make, cause he didn't have a quarterback. You know what I mean? And Jaden has proved that, you know, I know this is rookie season, but to accomplish what he has accomplished as a rookie, and to really take on that pressure, and really, you know, have a strategic mindset where he can see the whole field. I think that's phenomenal. But I think this is gonna be a great contest, and I'm here for it all. You know, I don't got no dog in the fight, but when it comes to the NFC East, you know, I'm talking shit for the NFC East for sure.
Well, before I go over to Eric, we got Council of Dads Production say I think KC doesn't care enough and Bills will blow them out. So I'm gonna beg to differ on that, because we're talking about history right now. We're not just talking about you winning your fourth championship just because. We're talking about history, three-peat, something that's never been done in the NFL, and I think Kansas City wants it back. I really do. Just because what we've seen in the regular season, you got to think about like the NBA. The NBA, when a team wins back-to-back championships or whatever, what do they do that third year a lot of times, or that year after they win? They go on cruise control during the regular season because they're bored. Then right before the playoffs, they turn it on. So I think Kansas City's been kind of bored with the regular season this year. And their whole mindset has been, let's just stay healthy and happy. So once we get to them playoffs, we'll turn it on. I think they're the one team in the NFL that can turn it on because they know how to win. Nobody else knows how to win but them. Think about it. The only team that ever won between this time has been Brady. Nobody else has won. Brady and the Rams. So those are the only two teams that really know how to win in these situations. So I think I beg to differ with that analogy. And he also said, y'all sleeping on the Bills, laugh out loud so bad. I don't think we're sleeping on the Bills. I just, at the end of the day, I got to see it to believe it. I call Patrick Mahomes Chucky. I call him Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers. You know what I'm saying? If you don't kill him, he ain't gonna die. And just like Brady, if you don't put him out their misery, if you let him hang around to the fourth quarter, whether you think it's the referees, him, or whatever the reason, they're gonna figure out a way to win. So that's my thing on it. You know what I mean? So, and then one last one, he said, we talking about playoff KC ain't warmed up enough to handle this. Okay. All right. And at the crib too? Okay. Well, anyway, go ahead, Eric. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I like watching KC play. I really do. And I do agree with you, Icon. I do agree with you on the fact it's basically until somebody takes them out, I just don't bet against them right now. But I do think Buffalo can do it, and that's why I was saying earlier that I think Buffalo does finally slay the dragon and take them out and move on to the Super Bowl. Because they're still looking for their first ever Super Bowl title. And yeah. Josh Allen is a hell of a quarterback. He literally can do it all. And the way he's playing right now, I mean, look, like I said, I ain't taking nothing away from Patrick Mahomes, but I just see something with Josh Allen this season. And I'm like I said, I'm looking forward to this game because I think it finally happens for Buffalo. I think they make it back to the Super Bowl, and whoever they're going to play, it's going to be a tough game.
And now think about Eric for Chris jump in. And I thought about this stuff. Yeah, just imagine if Buffalo does win. Now imagine Washington wins. Who's the last team to beat Buffalo in the Super Bowl? that would be crazy. Washington beat Buffalo in the Super Bowl because that's the last team that beat them after they lost them 4 in a row. The last team to beat them was Washington. You know what I'm saying?
So Washington, yeah,
that would be crazy if they lost to Washington.
Yeah, that would be kind of ironic, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
that really would. It's funny how history comes around and like scenarios that you can get into. It's pretty cool that way. But yeah.
Before you jump in, a real quick break, and we'll be right back. Back on 910 Sport, talking to Philly, Washington game. Jump in, Chris. Let us know your thoughts.
All right. Well, what do you want to hear?
Oh man, you funny.
All right, so obviously, you're obviously a Washington fan, and Jaden Daniels is the deal. I'm on record as saying, there was a lot of controversy last year when he won the Heisman, and I was like, the kid's a baller. Like he's better than Caleb Williams, in my opinion. The Bears should have drafted Jaden Daniels first and Caleb Williams second. I was told I'm crazy and this and that, whatever. Now, if anyone saw this season happening for the Washington Commanders, you're an absolute liar. No one saw the Commanders going 12-5, sneaking into the playoffs as the 6th seed, and winning 1, let alone 2 playoff games. With that being said, I think their Cinderella season comes to an end tomorrow. Deron Payne is out. Your right guard is out, and like Jacob said, our front four. It's better. It's the best right now. It's the best that's in the playoffs, other than maybe Kansas City, and that's because of Chris Jones. But with the Eagles, it's Jalen Carter, it's Milton Williams, it's anybody that's on that front line. Mojo, I think his name is. Nolan Smith is a stud. Even the guy who stepped in for Nakobe Dean, Oren Burks. I understand Scary Terry's making plays, but we shut him down the first meeting. Yeah, I'm still the best looking guy in Old City, so that's a lie. But listen, the Achilles heel of the Washington Commanders is their defense. And you lost one of your best defensive tackles who's not going to be there. The Lions gave up. The Lions are the first team in NFL history to pass for 300 yards, rush for 200 yards, and lose in a playoff game. Do you know how hard that is to do?
Very.
Do you know how hard that is to do? And if they would have won that game, like they probably run for 300 yards on Washington's defense. But they make. They made the plays on defense. Jared Goff turned into Jared Goff. Ben Johnson got a little too cute with the Aaron or not Aaron. What's it? Jameson Williams, reverse. That's all good and plenty, but you don't. Not when you're down, 10 points. You don't run that play. It's you go with getting. You go with what's working, and they were running the ball. And I just, Jacob alluded to Saquon being, over 100 yards. I think he's going to cook. The prop for the over and under on Saquon's rushing total is 130.5. Do you know how ridiculous that is?
That's crazy.
Do you know how ridiculous that is to place that bet and be confident? Yeah. That tells me that I just think Nick Sirianni's just going to toy with Washington. And I think he's going to pass the ball. And listen, they still passed for 300 yards last week.
Yeah.
They passed for 300 yards. I know they were talking about, Marshawn Lattimore held one person to one catch and 5 yards. Marshawn Lattimore also had 63 penalty yards against the Eagles in their last matchup. And it's going to come down to CJ Gardner-Johnson. As long as he's in the game, I am fully confident the Eagles win. They're not going to win easy. Everybody in the city of Philadelphia is going to be coming to my house to get my blood pressure pills because last week's game was one of the most strenuous games I watched. And I'm putting up there with Super Bowl 52. I wasn't like that when they played the Chiefs in the first Super Bowl. But that game was so hard to watch because of the way, the conditions and everything else. He ran for 205 yards in the snow. In the snow. In the snow. You know, the Eagles were manhandling Washington 26-10 on Thursday Night Football. I understand Jaden Daniels was hurt. He had the broken ribs. But your defensive coordinator gave the Eagles bulletin board material. We're gonna go out of our way to hit Jalen Hurts like a running back. Well, I mean, hopefully the league looks at it, because while he's a good player, Frankie Louvu is a dirty player, and if you don't think so, you're just blind to the sport of football. He leads with his helmet all the time. He's like Kirby Joseph of the Lions, who always led with his helmet. I think that is the safety from the Lions, who tore 2 ACLs last year. Yeah. And it's I always say, we always talk about this, and I bring it up all the time. I always joke around. I get that the Giants couldn't sign Saquon. I get it. I absolutely understand. You paid all that money to Daniel Jones, and I'm going to say the same thing I've been saying since Hard Knocks came on. I just wouldn't have said it on national television.
Well, let me say this, because you said a lot. So my thing is this. So the Marshawn Lattimore piece, so it took him a couple of games to kind of get back in the flow of things. And because I know when they played against Mike Evans, like Mike got the best of him a little bit. But I feel like last week was one of those where he kind of somewhat maybe got his mojo back a little bit or whatever. So I'm gonna say this: if he don't have to, because my thing is this: is Jalen Hurts hurt or not? So if Jalen Hurts is hampered a little bit, it will affect the running game just a little bit, because now you can just hone in on Saquon Barkley. Now, I've said this, and I'll go back what Jacob said. If we can hold him to maybe 125 or less in the running game, we have a chance. But if he gets 150, 175, 200, it's a wrap. Now, I will say this: we have had other players step up throughout the season, because you got to remember, Jonathan Allen was out most of the whole season. We've had Dorrance Armstrong step up. Bobby Wagner has big moments. Frankie Louvu has his moments. So we've had moments. And then Michael Centrells from Michigan, the rookie, he's been playing pretty like he's not been playing like a rookie the last few games. He's been playing great football out there. He's been a ball hawk all for the last thing. Now, the thing that's going to help us have a chance to win this game, we're going to have an Austin Ekeler. We're going to have one of the other receivers, basically other than Terry McLaurin, make a few plays or whatever to win this game. And if Terry McLaurin, and the thing about the Eagles is, what's scary more than anything, believe it or not, is that they don't blitz. Because I said it last week. Why do everybody keep blitzing Jaden Daniels? It's like trying to kill roaches with the wrong spray, and they just keep coming out. You're not gonna shut him down with the blitz. He thrives off the blitz. So, and the Eagles don't blitz. I think they say they like one of the least blitzing teams in the NFL. So they basically try to contain you, and they use a front four to slow you down. So that's gonna be probably something that we're gonna have to really kind of figure out how to get around. And Cliff Kingsbury gonna have to go deep into that playbook to win this game. You know what I mean? But
so let me say this, Icon. I watched that Rams and Eagles game, right? The Eagles front forwards in the Rams backfield so much, you would think they was handing somebody the spatula to flip the burgers off the grill.
But see, the thing about the Eagles being in the Rams backfield, doggone Matthew Stafford can't run no faster than the three of us put together.
Don't make no difference, man. Like, nobody would have had time to react. And then this one I'm say about Matthew Stafford. For him to pass for many yards that he's did, and for him to take the type of beating that he took, I take my hat off to him, man. But those guys are tall, they fast, they quick, they agile, and man, and when the center snapped that ball to the quarterback, man, they off that line so fast, man. I'm like, it's no way that somebody is it's like if you look at the Eagles, it's like Warren Sapp, Javon Curse, and you know Brian Urlacher in the backfield at the same time, all at the same time, bro. Like it's crazy how fast they was in the backfield. Now, so if your offense hold up and can slow them down, you know it could be tip tap. But if they get penetration in their backfield, man, and they can shoot them gaps, man, it's gonna be hard for Washington, man. But I look to see a great contest on tomorrow between Washington and Philly, man.
Okay. Well, we're gonna take another quick break. We're gonna get into these coaching carousel. We'll be right back here on 910 Sports. Okay, we back here on 910 Sports TV. We're gonna get into the coaching carousel. So we're gonna get it's been a lot of coaches hired this week. We had Aaron Glenn with the Jets. We had Brian Schottenheimer with the Cowboys. We had Pete Carroll with the Raiders. Who else we had? We had one more. Was one more. It was one. Jacksonville got their coach.
Ben Johnson.
Huh? Oh,
Ben Johnson.
Johnson with the Bears, and Liam Cohen or whatever his name is with Jacksonville. So let's talk about it. What was the best hiring? You know what the worst was?
The best hiring, honestly, was Brian Schottenheimer because he just made the Giants have never been a happier franchise seeing that guy get hired.
Hey, we happy too. Hey.
The worst hire was Brian, but I'm gonna say the best hire was Pete Carroll. That's what I'm gonna say.
Interesting.
I mean, Pete Carroll's is a good signing, but you know, I don't know who you're gonna have play quarterback. You know, I mean, I guess when Eric finishes maybe his CDL training, maybe he can go play quarterback for the Las Vegas Raiders because that's where they're at.
I said Sam Darnold for now. He's a veteran quarterback. He's been in the league for a little while. I think Pete Carroll will trust him at least for 1 year. You know what I mean? Maybe 2. So that's what I think.
They're gonna get a quarterback out of the draft room. They can't trust Sam Darnold, man. You know, like in the playoffs, Sam Darnold looked like the little engine that could. I think I can. No.
Who do you got, Eric?
It's not about that, Jacob. I think it's about stabilizing that position for now. Why you beat? Because you got to think Pete Carroll is known for his defense in the NFL. He's known for building that defense up and then basically allowing, because you got to think early on, Russell Wilson was a game manager. Russell Wilson wasn't like basically on Mahomes or Big Ben, Peyton Manning or Brady. He wasn't considered that type of quarterback. He was a game manager early on. So, and especially when the years they was winning championships, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, and going to the Super Bowl and championship game. That's what Russell Wilson was. And when he slowed down, Pete Carroll quickly got off of him. You know what I'm saying? So I think with somebody like Sam Darnold, if he can't get Shador or Cam trade up to get him, I think, you know, he may get a quarterback in the second round, but he may not start that quarterback immediately. You know what I mean? So he might need somebody there to like stabilize things at least for like a year. No, that's what
Well, now, if I get this straight, Pete Carroll signed with the Raiders?
Yes.
Okay. There has been a lot of talk about possibly Sam Darnold going there from the moment that hire happened. And I could see that because he lost himself a ton of money with the way he played in those last 2 games. The final game of the season and then in that playoff game. He played like total you-know-what. Pete Carroll, like you said, Icon, is more of defensive-minded head coach. He could work with a guy like Sam Darnold. I know there's him and like a couple other quarterbacks that are going to be on the move this year. But but I don't see them going after like Shedeur Sanders, because the rumors out there are that Sanders, the Dion wants to be the head coach of wherever he gets drafted at. Those are the rumors. Because I heard that there were some rumors circling around that if the Cowboys wanted the kid, that they might force a move and draft the kid and draft his and then hire his father. But I didn't really think that was going to happen. I didn't think that was going to happen because of the whole contract situation with Dak. So I thought that was just a bunch of hot air flying around out there. It's going to be interesting to see though what happens with the Raiders. I mean that hire of Pete Carroll was an interesting one for me. I kind of think Carroll might be done. Like I don't know if he's going to have it in him to do that rebuild.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe, man. But I think out of all the coaches that I think as older coaches, he may have a chance, even though he's 186 years old, man. But I think Pete Carroll is a genius, man. When they hired Pete Carroll, man, I thought he was gonna hire Morgan Freeman as his offensive coordinator. He old, bro. Like
yeah. I mean, he's got the resume. I mean, it wasn't a bad hire. I mean, you're trying to jumpstart a team that was really bad. You're bringing in a Super Bowl champion head coach, no matter how long ago that was. You know what I mean? He's been to a couple Super Bowls. So I mean, he knows how to get there. He knows what has to get done to get deep into the playoffs.
And
so he has a fan base like the Raiders should be happy for that at least.
Another he has a youthful spirit. Like he doesn't act like a 72-year-old. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't like Bill Belichick. We all grumpy and Him, he has like a youthful type of personality where I think guys can kind of relate to or whatever, and they'll galvanize around him. And basically, I think they'll play hard for him because of his personality. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm glad. I'm glad you said that he don't act like Bill Belichick, not Chick. You know.
I think that was a good hire. I do think, and this remains to be seen. I'm just going off of how to help him. I think Ben Johnson was the best one, just because if Ben Johnson can bring that stability to Caleb Williams, because I think Caleb Williams got the talent. It's there. You know what I'm saying? I think he can bring it out of him. You know what I mean? This way Cliff Kingsbury was with him. I think with Ben Johnson, he can help Caleb Williams go to that next level.
Alcon, you can't throw that pig skin with your cover girl nails. You can't do it.
See, there you go.
So, listen, you can, Ben Johnson going to the Bears is all good. Is all good and well for the painted nails and Caleb Williams, but how are football games won? What is the age-old saying? Football games are won in the trenches, and they have no offensive line.
Yeah, but you can build that though. I mean, you can go out and get.
How long is it gonna take?
Well,
if you knew that you were drafting Caleb Williams #1, wouldn't you have tried to make a splash in free agency and not sign DeAndre Swift? Maybe use that money on an offensive lineman.
I mean,
you right.
No, okay, let's look at it like this then, Chris. They have the weapons, right? They have DeAndre Swift. They have Keenan Allen. They have Dunze. They have some weapons. So now in the draft, I think they picked kind of early in the draft to get offensive lineman. Then they got money because they're not paying him yet. So they're not paying Williams yet. So they could probably go maybe get an offensive lineman. You know what I mean? In free agency to start building that line. You know what I mean? Of course, it's not going to be overnight the first year, but they can maybe make it a little bit better than what it was last year. It can't get no worse.
Let me ask you this, Icon. Would you have faith more in the Bears next season or the Carolina Panthers?
Ooh.
Oh.
Lord, I mean, you threw a rich way. You threw the ring.
Now.
That's like saying. Do you like your steak well done or well done? There's no good answer to that.
Just remember, I believe the Panthers won the last 6 or 7 out of 9 games.
I get that, but that's like saying you have more faith in a crackhead or a heroin addict.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I mean, I would trust Bryce Young before I trust Caleb Williams. I would.
He can't see over his offensive lineman. He's 5'9".
Okay, he can be 5'1", man. But like I said, man, Williams is too rattled in the pocket. He's too emotional. He's scared if he's gonna break a nail or not. Like, no, bro, I don't trust Williams.
Jesus Christ. Between the crackhead statement and saying that Bryce Young is better than Caleb Williams, I don't know where to go with.
I didn't say he was better. I said, with looking at the last 7 to 9 games, I trust him more going into the next season. I ain't say he was better overall.
Now I will say this, y'all. I will say he kind of move was, and I forgot about this, Mike Vrabel going to and bringing Josh McDaniels back. I think that will.
How many times is Josh McDaniels going to get hired as the New England Patriots offensive coordinator? Like, that dude, he is like, listen, me and Eric talk about it all the time, and I say, like Vic Fangio, he's a good coordinator, not a good head coach. Kellen Moore is probably a really good coordinator. I don't think he'll be a good NFL head coach. Josh McDaniels is a good offensive coordinator. He should never, ever be an NFL head coach ever again. And anybody who hires him deserves what's ever coming to him.
So I can't. Let me ask you, Chris and Eric, this right here. So Troy Aikman put out a statement about Jerry and the Dallas Cowboys culture. And Jerry recanted the statement and said, that boy don't know his place. I said, Jerry said, what? Jerry said, that boy don't know his place. And what Aikman said has been going on since he was at the Cowboys is true. He's like, Cowboys been need a GM. Jerry don't listen to nobody. Jerry think he's the PR superstar, and people really don't want to play for him, but they bound into a contract. You know what I mean? And the people that he hired to coach the team, man. And as you say, Cowboys ain't had a good coach since Jimmy Johnson. And Jerry was upset. That boy don't know his place. He need to be taught. That's what Jerry said.
Yeah.
He said that about Troy Aikman.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, Jerry Jones has to take his feelings out of it, because if we're up to Jerry Jones, every analyst would be like Michael Irvin, who just is a fanboy for the Dallas Cowboys.
Well,
Troy Aikman's a professional. Okay, he knows his place by doing his job, and his job is to critique and have opinions. And he's not saying anything different that the four of us and a bunch of other people in the professional sportscasting world haven't already said.
Shannon Sharp give the Cowboys hell, hot water, and the desert every day.
Mm.
I mean, it's just Jerry getting into his feelings, and he's getting into his feelings because he knows the guy's right. He just doesn't ever want to give up control. He doesn't want to give up any kind of power whatsoever. That's why you sit there, you see them in their draft room. It looks like something from the Death Star in Star Wars. It's like the evil empire. Just they're all sitting there in a dark blue room, and he gets in his own way. He does. He gets in his own way. The game has passed him by. He just wants to throw money at guys and say, "Oh, well, we pay this guy a certain amount of money." Don't mean they're going to be good.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean they're going to be good.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean they can all of a sudden be coached either.
Yeah, listen, there's a reason that, Dallas hasn't been to the NFC Championship game in 30 years. And I get it. It's the running joke. But there's a reason. And the problem is when they won all those Super Bowls in the 90s, Jerry was the GM. And he's like, I'm better than everybody else. His brand is worth a gazillion dollars. He's like, I'm the best brand ambassador there is. So why should I have to give up control of my team? You're right. Keep doing it. You're just gonna keep hiring the Jason Garretts of the world. That's all you're gonna do. You're not gonna be successful. And I'm so happy about it because you are the fact that the Washington Commanders got back to an NFC title game before the Dallas Cowboys is the most comical thing I've ever seen. And the Commanders haven't been relevant. No offense, Icon. They haven't been relevant for a long time.
You're right.
They get new ownership. They get a GM that cares. They get, they put the right players in. They put the right veterans in. They make the move. I know a lot of people who were very hesitant on the Billy Wagner and Austin Eckler signing. Billy Wagner, I was like, yeah. Austin Eckler, I liked it because all that guy did was score touchdowns when he was in San Diego. I think he scored like in 28 straight games. So you got guys who care and have adapted to the new age of football. You have Dan Quinn in an NFC Championship game. You have Kellen Moore in an NFC Championship game. Both who were coordinators on the Cowboys in the last 3 seasons.
The fact that Maxey and Ja Morant and Bronson and Jalen Daniels was in the same circuit at AU basketball, and Jalen Daniels has went to a Super Bowl before that, is hilarious to me. It's like bananas, man. Like, you're talking about these guys that used to get signed autographed basketball jerseys from a LeBron that's 40 years old, and these kids was 6, 7 years old then. And Jalen Daniels in a an NFC Championship game, and here is Dak. Still making the money. But I mean, if I was a quarterback, if this Dodo Bird gonna keep on paying me, and he's not gonna do nothing to better the situation, okay, I just make my money. I mean, what else you gonna do? Because he don't listen to the coach, he don't listen to the players, he don't listen to the fans. He damn sure don't listen to his kids.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm with Chris, man. I didn't. I said, man, the best I seen was 9-8, 10-7. You told me about halfway through the season you seen 12 wins. I said, Jacob, I don't see it. Where you go from? You the one. You told me that. The only 2 people that really had more faith that they could do more than what than that was, I heard Colin Cowherd playoffs in the preseason. I was like, and he was the only person.
Man, listen, man. The way Dan Quinn got them players off anybody's board that was a free agent so fast, I was like, man, Dan Quinn out there trick or treating.
And then think about this though, Jay. Think about this though. They not paying him for another 3-4 more years. And even halfway through the season, almost like that LeBron effect years ago, when everybody was saying they wanted to go play with the Heat or play with Cleveland, it's play in Golden State with Steph Curry. That players been saying, "Oh, we want to go play in Washington." So now look to what they do in the offseason when they actually go get maybe a better safety, go get a couple of more pass rushers, get a better offensive line, whether through the draft or through free agency. So they ain't even really formed the team yet. Because I don't think Adam Peters, if you ask Adam Peters, gave him a truth serum right now, Adam Peters, the GM, would not tell you, him and Magic would not have told you they would have been here right now. There's no way they would have ever thought that. No way. Because by the time they got to the free trade deadline, I don't think they knew what to do. The best they could do was to say, "Oh, let's do something to make it like we trying to win." So they went out, got Marshawn Lattimore, but I don't think they was really ready to make that move. Right now. You know what I'm saying? But
Washington, like it's a good thing that they're having this kind of success right now, like so early on with this new ownership and everything, because it gives them a chance right now to really evaluate what they really need to build around. It's one thing to say, okay, we're going to build around the quarterback, But now they're like, okay, offensive lineman, let's do something on defense. Because you're right, there's pieces. There's pieces that have to get put in place, and they started it. The first piece of the puzzle is the quarterback, and here we go. Yeah, so the first piece of the puzzle though was the quarterback, and it looks like they absolutely got that pick right. So and now it's just adding the other pieces. You already have Terry McLaurin, and here's another guy that we haven't talked about, or that we mentioned in when talking about the AFC game when we brought up the tight end. All right, they have Zach Ertz, who's having a really good season with Washington.
Yeah,
he's doing really well. He's like one of the leaders on the field for them.
He's an unsung hero for our team because Zach Ertz, besides Terry McLaurin, Zach Ertz makes every other fourth quarter big play. You know what I'm saying? When we need a big catch on 3rd and 5 or 4th and 3, Zach Ertz. So yeah, you right. Like we don't sign Hurts ASAP as soon as the season ends and we go into free, we need to lock him up for another year or 2. You know what I mean? If nothing, I don't care how old he is. Lock him up for at least 2 more years. You know what I mean? Make sure security blanket.
Man, you can't do that, man.
Yeah,
you gonna disrupt Zach Ertz Social Security check. You can't do that.
What?
He old, ain't he, bro? Hey, but he balling though.
He younger than what you call it, Kelsey?
Is he?
Yeah.
Really? Man, I'm so sorry, guys. I did not know that, bro.
Yeah, he younger than Kelsey, so why not lock him up? And you
yeah, cause man, he can block, he can catch, he been running that thing, and it's hard to bring him down. You know, I said that was a good pickup, so you know.
And he can still help develop the other tight end, the one we got from
Iowa. From Iowa.
Yeah, he can help develop him, and maybe he could be the one to kind of take over after, next year or whatever, next couple of years. But definitely bring Ertz back. If you don't bring nobody else back, bring Ertz. I want to see Bobby Wagner one more year, but definitely bring Ertz back.
All right, I'm gonna go with a little. First off, Zach Ertz is very easy to bring down. He doesn't fight for yards. He's not a yak guy. He gets your 9-10 yards, and that's fine. That's the way it is. Secondly, I'm gonna give Jaden Daniels his flowers in year 1. I'm not giving it to him in year 2 because we've seen too many one-hit wonders. He could turn into CJ Stroud next year. So
there you go, man. Like I don't
wait. What? Hey, listen, everybody said the same thing last year. How great CJ Stroud was. Who's to say with the full year and then you have tape on him? And listen, Washington only really had 3 decisive wins this year, but that they blew out teams. Every game was won by a touchdown or less.
But
so let's. And I'm not taking anything away. And I'm not taking anything away from Jaden Daniels. He gets his flowers year 1. You need to see if he gets into the sophomore slump in year 2. Plain and simple.
I'm gonna tell y'all this before we get out of here. We're about to make predictions. I'm gonna tell you why I think that it's different from CJ Stroud. Because I'm not looking at what he's doing on the field. I'm looking at hearing about all the other stuff. He comes in at 5:00 in the morning. First day to leave. His other intangibles. When they won the first playoff game, he was like, we ain't done nothing yet. So he wasn't like joyful like everybody else. He was just sitting over there like okay, we got more. So the other stuff about him that he's going to come back, and they may not have the same miraculous type I need.
So you bring up the first playoff game. He committed 0 turnovers, which is fine.
Uh-huh.
The defense forced 2 turnovers on Baker Mayfield, and they won on a doink field goal. So how much did they really dominate?
But
I'm being realistic. I'm being realistic. They forced 2 turnovers, and the Bucs were scoring, and they won on a Doink field goal, and I'm being a realist here. He did he had a good game, but he didn't dominate when he played. We'll see tomorrow in the cold what he does.
But Eric, Chris, think about this. The one they only got really blown out one time, and who blew them out? Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And think about it. Every game that Jayden Daniels had played that he lost, that he played a team a second time, he beat them. He beat every team he played a second time. So my thing, that's what I'm looking at. It's not about blowing out or whatever. It's about how did he carry himself. And even when he had that middle of the season, when he had those couple of bad games because of the ribs or whatever, or a rookie wall or whatever you want to call it, he made it after they got past that their bye week, which I felt like their bye week was too late in the season to begin with. Like week 13 is ridiculous. He actually came fresher and a better player after that moment. So everything is not with him. Is not going to be big numbers like 400 yards. It's going to always be a combination of maybe 80, 90 yards rushing, 250 passing, 2 or 3 touchdowns, or whatever the case may be. But the poise Young has, I've never seen a rookie quarterback have the poise and to be able to control a game the way he does.
He didn't beat Dallas. Let's get that out of the way. He didn't beat Dallas. Marcus Mariota beat Dallas.
Well, I said the games he played, where the games he was in.
That was the second time he played Dallas. He did not beat them.
I didn't say Dallas. I didn't say he didn't win in that game.
But you said when they played a second team and they lost the day. You said when they played them the second time. I'm just saying what you said. When they played them the second time. And I get it. But also remember, you played the Eagles without CJ Gardner-Johnson. As long as he keeps his head on the swivel, you're not winning tomorrow. You already got my pick.
He was a good player. He ain't Deion Sanders. He ain't doggone Darryl Green. You know what I'm saying? Like we can still do things, against the Eagles. He put up 5 touchdowns against the Eagles. He
put up 5 touchdowns without Jalen Hurts and without CJ Gardner-Johnson.
I don't either way. That's a lot of time. I don't care who was out there. You give up 5 turnovers.
And they scored 6 points off those turnovers because Jalen Hurts wasn't in the game. They weren't able to run their same offense. They were able to eat up Saquon Barkley. Now, tomorrow, I fully expect Jalen Carter to eat up your backup right guard, who we haven't talked about, who isn't in tomorrow.
Yeah, you're right.
I really hope that your coach blocks him, because I don't know what the Rams were thinking on 3rd and 2 and not blocking Jalen Carter. That was the dumbest offensive play I've ever seen in my life. Just going to leave him unblocked. Like, you better bite, scratch, tickle, kick him, trip him. Jalen Carter is a man amongst beasts, a man amongst boys right now. It doesn't make any sense, and that's.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is that I feel like the one thing, like I said, the one thing that Jayden Daniels has has an advantage of than what the Rams had was, one, Matthew Stafford. He can move no faster than going across the street right now. At this point, Washington does a lot of quick passes to get the ball. So, because even the analysis was talking about him, and it was like the way Jalen Carter plays and the way Washington, at some times of the game, negate Jalen Carter's being able to get to the backfield fast enough. Because I think we're going to have to use a lot of quick passes to get the ball out of his hands. So he won't be a target back there as much, especially we know him with that right guard being out. He can't hold the ball with that right guard being out. He's going to have to scramble out the pocket. He's going to have to do something. And hopefully we get some kind of running game going. Anything. It don't got to be 200 yards, but at least get maybe about 80, 90 yards. Brian Robinson got to show up. Like he got to give us something tomorrow. You know what I mean? That's the way I look at
it. Yeah, man. Just give your prediction. Nobody hear all that.
Oh, whatever, man. Go ahead.
Nobody want to hear. Just give your prediction, man.
Right, I don't got no skin in the game. Go first. You go first.
Yeah, 2017. Either way, I don't know. I just got to see what the first half look like. I can't tell.
Wait, what kind of weak ass prediction is that? 2017. Wait. You gotta give up a prediction talking about 2017 away. What is this?
Based off experience, I'm gonna go 2017 Philly. Based off experience.
Thank you. Go ahead, Eric, man.
Look at you, man, already ready to cry.
This guy. Oh my God. I got the Eagles. I think they just have more dogs in the race in this game. I think they just have more guys ready to play. I think Jalen Hurts is going to. I don't think he's going to be he's as hurt as people we think he is. I think he's going to. I think he just is going to have a really good game. Barkley's going to be Barkley. I'm going to say 34-21 Eagles. I see them really having a good offensive performance. Defense is going to be good. And I think Jalen Carter is going to be a little motivated after those comments by the coordinator for Washington, talking about, how, they're going to treat, if Jalen Hurts runs, they're going to treat him like a running back. That goes both ways. So Jalen Carter he's going to know that. Like Chris said earlier, that that guy gave us some chalkboard material for motivation. So there's going to be some. I think the game's going to be really good. But yeah, 34-21 Eagles.
Go ahead, Chris.
56-2. No, it's going to be like 28-24 Eagles. I unfortunately think it's going to be a lot closer than it needs to be, and hopefully I'm able and breathing and my heart doesn't stop during the game. I just think Eagles have the best roster in football from top to bottom, and I think they have really good coaches. I really do. I really think they have. I think that's where the X factor is the coaching staff.
Well, this is the X factor, Chris. Whoever can score points on the defense side of the ball is gonna win, in my opinion.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, my pick is, and before we get out of here, shout out to what's that? OD City Sports.
Old City Sports Network.
Old City Sports.
Okay, that's the people that
yes.
y'all with now. And then we got
yes.
Shout out to both of y'all for coming in and participating and giving us y'all time. Great, appreciate it. So my pick for the night is who I got, Washington, but I'm gonna say 35-34. I actually think it's gonna be a high scoring game.
Oh God, I'll kill Jake Elliott in his sleep.
I think it's gonna be a high scoring game. I think that basically I'm gonna give my boy Jay Daniels that one last heroic moment to get to the Super Bowl or whatever, and I don't know why I just kind of envision them, but the way they have, but I'm going 35. That's my final pick.
Just remember one thing.
Huh?
Just remember one thing. Jaden Daniels hasn't won in Philly, and he hasn't won in Philly in the playoffs. It's a different ball game.
No. I got him. Not even. Nope. Don't even talk about Detroit. Don't you dare talk about Detroit. I don't know if that's where you were going. Don't even talk about Detroit's home field advantage.
No,
they're like some of the worst fans in the world.
Y'all was saying it as if Jaden Daniels then played in Philly like 10 times or something. Like he 0-9 or something already. He played one time. You know what I'm saying? So whatever. So I'm not even looking at that.
I'm joking around because they both won on their home fields.
But think about this. I'm gonna say this before we leave. You know the moment that I really understood Jaden Daniels when he would play hostile environments early on in the season before he even knew who he was. And he played them hostile environments and win. I said this kid got it because his first Bengals defense was garbage. Our defense was garbage, but he made Cincinnati Bengals look like they was like, I don't know. He made them like they was one of the worst teams in the NFL the way he would run them down, at least on the defensive side of it. So to me, when I seen that, I said, this kid is the truth. Whatever happens the rest of this year, this kid.
You should have went with a different approach. Yeah, because I'm gonna like that game was a lot of quick throws. There was a lot of 2, 3, 4 yard catches. That's how they were not able to get a hold of him. Because he read the defense well, and he got the ball out in less than 2 seconds. Like that's
okay. Think about this, Chris. When you saying that, think about Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams holds the ball too much. Caleb Williams always going for the big play, the home run. Jayden Daniels he's very calm, methodical. He's patient.
It comes down to coaching. That's all it is. It comes down to coaching.
That too, but you also, as a player on the field, you got to understand if my offensive line is garbage, then at the end of the day, I can't sit back there and hold the ball and pat it. So Jayden Daniels understands, like, I got to get the ball out fast because I have an average offensive line. So I can't stand back here and pat the ball all day like I'm doggone Jared Goff. I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Because my offensive line is not that good. So at the end of the day, I feel like, to me, that's what made his poise so different, because he always understood the moment. No matter what the was, he always understood. And even when he had bad games, he always made heroic moments in the fourth quarter. Like if you look at all the analysts and stuff like that, if you hit the ball last, he's not going to come off that field without a touchdown or a field goal, whatever he needs.
Hey man, I don't ever want to hear you talk about Caleb Williams on this podcast ever again, bro.
What you mean?
This shit is giving me a migraine headache. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, man. You know, I'd rather for you talk about, you know, your favorite episode of I Love Lucy. Get out of here, bro. Don't talk about him, man.
What you mean? Why you want to talk about Caleb Williams?
Cause what are we doing here, man? Like,
I'm comparing rookies. I'm comparing the first pick and the
man, he couldn't be compared to Jayden Daniels, man, in no way, shape, fashion, or form, bro. Compare Caleb Williams to Will Levis. Like, not Jayden Daniels. Are you crazy, man?
Jacob, you know this. Stop playing. You know when you come out of the draft with another player, you 1 and 2, they're always going to be linked at the hip until they retire. That's going to be always the case. You know that. You know they always going to compare Caleb Williams.
Yeah. But whoever thought that bright idea wasn't thinking, because from where I'm standing at and from what I've seen this year, they shouldn't even be in the same breath or the same sentence.
You might be right, but what I'm saying is, I'm just going by what Chris said, what he said. I'm just going by when you see the difference in the way they play football. The way they play quarterback, Caleb Williams look like he just lost. Whereas Jayden Daniels looked like he's a 5 or 6 year veteran the way he's playing. They already got him as the 5th best quarterback in the NFL right now. Already. You know?
Yeah, okay, man. We're gonna see what the game bring tomorrow. Enough of that. Oh, okay.
Don't be mad at me. Don't be mad at me.
Okay, man. Okay. Icon, we get your point. Write a script, write a book, TV series, and all, man. Documentary. Okay, we get it.
I think I made you make a pick. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all coming on. Shout out to y'all, man. And you know, y'all keep going up, man. I really love y'all guys. And you know what I'm saying? And I'm so happy for y'all, you know what I mean, and what y'all doing over there or whatever. You know,
yes, sir.
Even though y'all ain't had me back on the show in a while, I got my feelings kind of hurt. But anyway, you know, sorry for another. But anyway, I'll just mess with y'all. Anyway, man, y'all have a good one, man. Have a good weekend, man. I'll probably win the game tomorrow.
All right, later on, fellas. Y'all be good, man.
Go Birds.
Later. Go Birds.
Yes, sir.